Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a new video. Welcome to NFL Talks with your host, Nolan Roberts. And let's just get right into this. So, yesterday's video, new age of QBs. Thank you for the support. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Okay? A lot of good points made in that video. I'm sure you guys will definitely find it interesting. Now, this one is going to be kind of like a team breakdown. The offense no one talks about, the Las Vegas Raiders, was really... Their franchise is definitely known more for their defense, but their offense has been playing much better than their defense has these past couple years, and let me tell you why. Well, just with a okay record of 8-8, second in the AFC West behind the Kansas City Chiefs, was 10th in points scored, and their defense was 30th in points allowed. So big gap right there. The main reason for their poor record. Derek Carr with a career high 4,100 yards, definitely a franchise QB, I think. Wasn't really proving himself just a few years back. I'd say around the 2016 range. He had the good season in 2015, but in 2016 he was looking a bit iffy. But then he definitely solidified himself as a franchise QB with a 27-9 touchdown to interception ratio and a career high 101.4 passer rating. Definitely doesn't put up MVP numbers, but just like I said in the last video, kind of like a Baker Mayfield type play. They get the job done, which is what matters. Also, within the first 4 weeks, he was averaging 274 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, no picks, and 113 passer rating. And that's just the first 4 weeks. Like, that's just absurd. And then, second of all, Darren Waller, the second best tight end in the league. I think I would put him over George Kittle just for these stats that I'm about to bring to you. He was second among tight ends in yards with 1,196. Third among tight ends with touchdowns. He scored 9 of those. And then he was first among tight ends over Travis Kelce. Yes, he led the tight end position in receptions by 2. Kelce had 105, and Darren Waller has 107. So just some interesting stats. And he was 10th in yards in the league total, 10th in touchdowns, and receptions. I believe he was 3rd, if I'm correct. I'm not exactly sure, though. Don't quote me on that. Darren Waller having 5 games over 100 yards, 5 games with 9 or more receptions. Even at that 113 reception, 200 yard, 2 touchdown game against the Jets, definitely his career high. That was definitely his best game. That was a crazy game. And then in the last 5 games, which included that 200 yarder, averaged 130 a game, got 43 receptions and 4 touchdowns. Dumb numbers. And then their running back, the sophomore Josh Jacobs, this year with only 15 starts, got 1,065 yards and a career high 12 touchdowns. Dropped in yards per carry quite a bit with 3.9, just shy of 4. But definitely has been productive on the ground. His rookie season was definitely, I'd say, the better one, with only 13 starts, getting 1,160 yards with 88 yards per game and 4.8 yards per carry. But this year, he did make his first Pro Bowl. Obviously getting the back-to-back 1,000 yards in your first 2 seasons is definitely an accomplishment to be proud of. And the new rookie added to the squad, Henry Ruggs. He had a big performance, against the defeat, or when they defeated Kansas City, which was Pat Mahomes' only loss of the year. He had 2 receptions for 118 yards and a touchdown. His whole year had only 450, but did average 17.4 yards per catch. So we'll see how that plays out. In Mahomes, right? His record in the past 24 games, including the postseason, has been 23-1. Make that 24-1 now that he just won against the Browns. But the one loss that they have was the Raiders earlier this season. I believe it was week 5. That's the only loss Pat Mahomes has in the past 25 starts, and that is absolutely absurd to think about that the Raiders did that. So just a couple reasons why I think they're underrated. Jacobs, obviously, he's only in his 2nd year. Got the rookie, Henry Ruggs. I believe Darren Waller is around 25. I'm not exactly sure, though. Don't quote me on that. I'll definitely put the age up on the screen for you guys to see. Derek Carr, he's only in his 7th season. I think he definitely has 4 to 6 mildly productive or superlative years ahead of him. Obviously, beating the Kansas City Chiefs this year, that's just an insane feat itself. But there's no powerhouse defensive player they have. Obviously, they had Khalil Mack, who won Defensive Player of the Year in 2016, but they don't have any good defensive players now, really. Seahawks, they have Bobby Wagner. The Bengals, we have Jesse Bates. The Steelers, Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt. Most teams have an identity player on their defense. The Raiders really don't. There's not really one player that just stands out above all. But the offense definitely does. You know, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, and Henry Ruggs, I think in the next couple years are definitely going to be one of the best offenses if they can get their GM and like their management status under control and they can get some chemistry going on. They can definitely be a powerhouse team, I believe. Interesting team though. They put up great stats. A lot of them do. Josh Jacobs, you know, I think is definitely next year going to break the 1,200 mark if he can just play all 16 games. Derek Carr, I think, is going to go for another 4,000. Darren Waller, I think he's going to go for another 1,000-yard performance. He just got back-to-back 1,100 plus and had 90 plus receptions in both of those seasons. So for such a young team that plays like so statistically well, it's just going to be interesting to see how these teams play out. Now, obviously, they're in the AFC West, so they do have the Kansas City Chiefs, who are just an insane powerhouse and just win like nearly every single game. You know, obviously, they're advancing on to the AFC Championship, so them winning the division, I don't know if that's in reach, but I definitely think they're a wild card possibility for next year. I think they're going to go a solid 10-6 if they can get some more defensive stars. Then we'll be talking defense. But if they can do that, I definitely think they can go a solid 10-6, 11-5 record and take second in the division and definitely make a wild card spot. So you can definitely count them on that. Shorter video, I know it's weird, but I want to thank you guys for watching and showing the support on the last one. Make sure to do the same for this. I have a gaming channel if y'all want to check that out. The name will be in the description. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below if you enjoyed it, and drop a comment on what type of video that I should do next. And if you have any tips on how to get better at editing or better at recording or just the commentating part, let me know because I sure do appreciate it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is NFL Talks with your host, Nolan Roberts, and I'll see ya.